All right. All you, Elizabeth.
Okay, we're recording. So please alert your editors if you would like not to be seen. So, welcome everybody. I am honored to be hosting this month's Magic Mixer. If any of you had the pleasure of, I think many of us did have the pleasure of Dani's first presentation, it was really pretty special. And so I think we're in for a treat once again tonight. I will introduce our members first, and then get us all sort of grounded and connected. And then I will introduce our wonderful presenter who I just touched on. So without further ado, I'm Elizabeth Higher Rose. I'm your host with maybe some most tonight. And also with us are our fearless leader, Dana. The dreamer and founder of MSCO, and she does love bringing people together to co-create healing and joy for the world, and she is a joy to behold. Dana's passions include her intuitive work, metaphysics, writing, playing in nature, and communing with the divine. And also we have Celeste Holly. Celeste has been a member of MSCO for about 9 years, and she offers Reiki and yoga and many other magical gifts. Celeste is also an artist who creates handmade jewelry and accessories. We have had the treat of seeing some of those beautiful jewels and gems on occasion. Next up, we have Janice. Janice Rosen is a counselor and hypnotherapist in Winnipeg, Canada. She uses hypnotherapy as a method to communicate directly with the subconscious mind. She designs blueprints for your subconscious based on your specific needs and goals, which allow change, healing, and transformation to happen more elegantly and quickly. Janice is also an aromatherapist and writer, and she makes rock star essences. Just if anybody's curious. Okay. Let's see, who else is, Dani, I'm coming to you. Christy Judy is a magical pixie. I love that. And comes offering her nearly 40 years of experience in the healing fields and a lifetime of spiritual gifts. Her multimodality healing program, Relief from Grief, frees you from the trauma associated with loss of any kind at any point in your healing journey. That sounds kind of awesome if you are in need. All right, who am I missing? Well, oh, it's Jody. Okay, Jody, I see Jody has arrived. Jody has been a tarot reader for over 40 years. She consults the cards for spiritual guidance for friends, family, and clients to help them gain clarity and insights on troubling issues, challenging blocks, and important decisions they might be facing. She encourages everyone who is drawn to the tarot to delve in and explore for themselves. She can help get you started. I speak from personal experience. They are awesome, and try it remotely. It's just really stellar. We have an amazing group of people. I just wanted to just say that. Okay, let's see.
Leanne, Carol, and Marie. And I don't know if Leanne and Carol got in on the one I sent you.
Let me see. Leanne, no. Carol.
And Carol.
Oh, Marie.
I added them, but I think it's the wrong one. Yes.
I have Marie. Where is Marie?
There she is. Yeah, I have to swipe your thing. There's so many people on, they don't all show up.
Okay. I don't see Marie, but I'm going to I wonder why I can't see her.
Are you meaning Carol? Are you meaning Carol Sainte-Marie?
No, Marie Howell is who I couldn't
Where
see
is
back.
she? Don't see her
now. Marie is a wise elder. Her art and life are intimately intertwined with her deep connection to the sacred, particularly the Divine Mother in her many forms. Marie's work includes painting feminine icons, reimagining found objects into inspired assemblage sculptures, and facilitating creative inner wisdom experiences, particularly through cosmic smashbooking. Her website is holymother.art. Is it .art.com or just .art?
You're
.art.
muted, Marie.
It's .art. Thank you.
Okay. I saw a dot after it, so I wasn't sure. And I apologize to the members whose bios I don't have. I have a nobody's fault. It's just, you know, we're working through it. And so if you would please, those of you that I missed, if you would please introduce yourselves, so that people know who you are, that would be really fabulous. So who did I miss?
Leanne and Carol.
I missed Carol. So Carol, where are you? Carol, will
Carol,
you
yeah,
yourself?
I'm in Montreal, Canada. I'm also a tarot reader. What am I? A writer. And as I mentioned in my biography sent to MSCO, a wisdom seeker, right? Because I take care of the planning of the schedule, the monthly schedule on Facebook, where I want to put every member twice a month, unless you have a course that is coming, then it's a little more than that. And what else am I? So that's it. I'm full of projects, but I'll let you know in due time.
Excellent. And I think Leanne, right? Did we I don't have your bio, correct?
No, I don't think so. I'm an elite
Yeah.
spiritual mentor, psychic, and all around Lazarus lover. I absolutely adore everything about manifesting and creating your own reality and doing. Been working with Dana for, gosh, 4 years, easy, somewhere around there. Yeah. So happy to be back amidst all the magicians and beautiful people.
Thank you. And again, my apologies for not being able to eloquently introduce our fabulous members who are here. So those of you that aren't members, if you can just, you know, let us know who you are and where you're from or why you're here. Whatever you want to say, just a little quick. We'd love to know if you feel like sharing.
And
I'm go ahead.
Karen, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Karen.
I've unexpectedly got 2 pups here with me tonight, so I'm quote babysitting them. And I unmuted it because I'm on a different machine and I wasn't quite sure how to do things. But anyway, I'm Karen Edward. I currently live in I currently live in Southeast Saskatchewan, in Canada, and I do pretty much everything with respect to metaphysics, astrology, tarot, and then in the healing fields, I use crystals and radionics. I've come up through the ranks as things became available, starting in the mid-70s, I would say. I met Lazarus in April '85, and like most of us, have used the material he has very kindly shared with us to change my life and my family's lives, etc. And it's great to be here. Dana kindly sent me an invitation, so thank you very much, Dana. And I look forward to the evening's presentation.
Wonderful, thank you.
And I am Rob Romine, the other half of Leanne. I'm a rebirther from way back in the early 80s. I do breath work. I've known Dana shortly after I met Leanne. So we go way back to the mid 80s, I think is about mid to late 80s. And I've always been practicing Lazarus all these years, manifesting and using all of Lazarus's tools and
We've got
the
kids and
love.
grandkids
Yeah.
now that love it, absolutely love it, to watch the 15 and 17-year-old manifesting and using the
Yeah.
Lazarus tapes. It's amazing. Yeah. Fun stuff.
Well, welcome. And Christy?
Hi, I'm Christy. I've been hanging out with Celeste, and I'm gonna actually take her Reiki workshop on Saturday. Yeah. So I'm kind of new to all of this, but it's some different gifts that are being revealed, and so I love hanging out with like-minded people like you guys. So thank you so much for allowing me to join.
Well, welcome. And did I miss anybody? Did we get everybody? Kayla, I see you in the middle square.
My name is Kay, and hi Dana. And I have an unimpressive resume with respect to practitioner. I do a lot of other things, but I just like coming and joining in this group and seeing what you guys have to share. So I thank you for including me in this. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, without further ado, and before we roll in with Dani, let's get centered and get ready to be really activated in some way. So if everybody can just close their eyes just for a moment and take a deep grounding breath and allow everything else of the day or the week or the month or what's coming up next to just fall away for the next little bit of time that we're together. And just connect yourself into the earth in the way that works best for you. Sometimes it's moving light from your root chakra down into the earth, or a beam of light through all of your chakras that are in your body, or just sensing the earth beneath your feet, whether literally or in your mind, just to ground and connect to yourself and to this group and to this time. And whenever you're ready, just open your eyes. All right. And now I would like to introduce Dani. Dani has been an educator for over 30 years, teaching K through 12 as well as adults. She is a trauma-informed educator and a certified mental health first aid and bridges out of poverty. Dani is a transformational coach addressing your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being to lead you to live the life you desire. She also teaches a 6-week course titled Mind Over Money, where you learn to create a budget and pay off debt without feeling stressed, overwhelmed, and deprived. And tonight, we will be working with mindful money management. So without further ado, take it away, Dani.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. That was a beautiful grounding experience, and for introducing everyone. And Kay, I don't think my resume matches all these people either, so we're good. We are good. We are all good. There's some beautiful minds right here, and it's nice to see so many people. So good evening. I'm excited to be here today. I really wanted to just start talking about, or continue talking about, because we have done this before, but our mindset around money and how it really impacts our spiritual growth and our well-being. Many spiritual teachers might encourage us to let go of material attachments. And there is some wisdom to not being consumed with our desires of wealth and gathering possessions. However, money itself is not inherently bad, or it's not contrary to spiritual values. It's really our relationship to money that makes the difference in the way we approach money in our lives. It's our mindset over the money. So when we have that mindset of lack or scarcity around money, it leads to fear, anxiety. We become selfish. Our behaviors start, we selfishly start accumulating more because we're always afraid that whatever we have is going to disappear. So we want to make sure that we hoard or gather because we have that mindset of lack or scarcity, like it could go away at some point. And a lot of that is based on our experiences growing up. We all have individual experiences with money growing up. But it really, that scarcity mindset, it will always breed negativity. And it really prevents us from embodying those spiritual virtues of generosity, of compassion, of trust. So we really want to turn our thoughts around whenever we're experiencing those thoughts of lack and scarcity, and create an abundant mindset around money. If we can view money as a tool for good, then that's going to allow us to support ourselves, to serve others, and to really make a positive difference in the world by really focusing on the fact that there is more than enough for everyone and believing that. So when you're adopting an abundant mindset, it's really a practice. I am still practicing it, and it takes time, and there's always going to be things that come up that challenge us in believing in that abundant mindset. We start small, and then we just have to build momentum, and it takes practice like any other skill. When we are fearful or have those fearful or limiting money beliefs, we just need to stop for a minute, pause, ground ourselves, and then turn it around and replace them with affirmations of abundance, of prosperity, of really having that ability to use money wisely and know that it is just a resource. So when we approach money from a spiritual mindset, it doesn't mean that we are rejecting wealth. It really is using it consciously, using money consciously, and using the right mindset. Money can be the tool that help us express our higher purpose. So what are some ways that we can cultivate a healthy, abundant mindset around money while still staying true to our own spiritual principles? The first and foremost, and I think everyone on this call would agree, is practicing gratitude. Every day we wake up and we give thanks for those small blessings. The fact that we have a roof over our head, we have food to eat, we have clean clothes to wear. Those simple financial blessings, and all of those things cost money, right? Those simple blessings are ways that you will start to shift your mindset from that feeling of lack to that feeling of abundance. Also, avoiding comparing yourselves to others. We can all get into that habit of seeing what our friends have and what we don't have, or what we believe we don't have. When we compare our financial situation to others, it always leads to envy. You start resenting your friends for feeling like they have more, and like you're not enough, feeling like you are not enough. But if we turn those thoughts around and we're happy for the others and the gifts that they receive in their lives, we can stop and be happy for them and their successes, and we focus on our own path and the directions we're having and the blessings we have, and we believe that there is enough for everyone. There's enough for everyone. So there's no reason to be envious or jealous of a person who you perceive to have more than you, because there is an abundance of resources for all of us, and you have to believe it. We also need to focus on redefining our success. Instead of measuring our success by our net worth, we redefine it by our purpose, by our generosity, by the value that we provide. The difference you make in another's life is far more valuable than the amount of money you have in the bank. And everyone on this call has changed more lives than we could count in a lifetime, I'm sure. So just focusing on that positive difference that you make, and write down, start thinking about those non-monetary definitions of success that you have. Journal it. Write down the things that you have accomplished that have nothing to do with money, like making a difference in the life of someone. And then share your gifts. Money is meant to circulate. Money is not meant to sit in our bank for 30 years. It's meant to flow through and be used again and again and again, right? It's meant to circulate. So look for opportunities to share your financial gifts, charitable giving, paying for services, supporting causes that really matter to you. Again, we all can fall into a trap of getting fearful and feeling like we're in lack of something. And I personally have a perfect example of this. We just recently realized that we're probably going to need a new HVAC system in our home, right? And that's a big purchase. And my initial thought was, oh my God, oh no, now where are we gonna pull this money out of? What are we gonna do? No. And I had to calm myself down, ground myself and say, you know what? I'm so blessed that I'm gonna be getting a new HVAC system sometime in the near future that is going to keep my family comfortable in both winter and summer, as well as help those the families of the people who come and install my HVAC system. And then they're going to take it and they're going to spread it on beyond them. So it's just stopping when you start to feel that moment or those thoughts of lack, like, oh no, and big purchases or big expenses or things are always going to come up in our lives. And they're going to be scary sometimes and fearful. But if you can stop and switch that mindset into that growth mindset and that abundant mindset, reminding yourself that this money is meant to flow through. And if you truly believe that there is enough for everyone, it will work out. It really can just change the way you live your life. Just being grateful, redefining success beyond money, sharing your gifts, replacing those scarcity beliefs with abundance. You will master your money mindset, And then you can walk that spiritual path with freedom and joy and harmony without feeling that heaviness of feeling like you have to reach some sort of financial line or border or, a limit. It will just flow naturally and things will just start to come. The whole manifesting, and with Lazarus, that's how that works, is your mindset, right? So I hope that this framework is helpful to you all. And if we could all just sort of examine our relationship with money and integrate our financial life with our spiritual values, and then just reflect on how we can apply an abundant mindset to really serve the greater good. That's where we're all going to make that difference in the world that we already are making. So if and I didn't create a big long, sorry, I'm not like Jody. I don't have any slides to share either, but I'm happy to have a conversation with you all. Have any thoughts or questions about anything that I've said, we can explore it deeper. Please feel free to unmute yourselves and start chatting.
Listen, I thought that was wonderful. I took a couple of notes. I just wanted to make a couple of highlights to the group, and then certainly anybody that wants to ask a question or share some of their ideas. But I do want to make an announcement. Dana unfortunately got kicked off. She's trying to get back on, so that's why she's not here if you can't see her. But she's trying to get back on.
She's mortified.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's working hard to get back on. You said a couple of things that I just thought were so great. Starting small with the mindset, starting small and allowing that to build momentum. I think a lot of times people sort of, it's like in anything, they go for the gusto, and if they don't get there in the first shot, then they think they failed. So that's such an important piece, and that money is just a resource. It's what you said, that it can be a tool to express our higher purpose. I thought I was like, yeah, of course it is. We can get so bogged down, even those of us that use it to express our higher purpose, and we have a good relationship with money or whatever, we can really get bogged down, particularly in our consumer economy, that it can be tricky. And redefining success by your purpose, I thought that was brilliant too. Anyway, those were just a few of the highlights, I thought. Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to share or ask Dani? We have an expert here that might be able to help you out. The other thing I thought was the switching to the growth mindset. Money's meant to flow through you. It's meant to flow through other people. I thought that was all really, even if it's something you think hearing it in different ways really helps to shift how we interact with money. And it certainly shifts, I think, how we can look at commerce even, and as the world is changing so quickly, how we view what success is and how we view all that stuff is pretty
I think opening up ourselves to know that money is a resource, and what we have coming in does not have to be a set amount. It doesn't have to be limited. There are so many ways that you can have money coming into you. You don't have to, if you have if you're a W-2 job person, there's more ways that you can bring money in. There's an infinite number of ways that you can have money flowing through you. So, that's another limiting belief that people have, I think, is, I work a 9 to 5 and this is how much I make, and this is all I'm ever going to make. But this group especially, It's not how life works. There's so many opportunities, and it doesn't have to be, focusing on selling your services. You start sharing your gifts, the money will flow. It will flow to you. Just keep
have a
sharing
question.
this gift. Mhm.
Yeah, you say that you have a 6-week course or 8-week course. What's in it? Like week
Yeah,
1, week
that
2.
is more, it's a lot of budgeting and work on your mind, your beliefs again, regarding around debt. So a lot of people who have debt, there's a lot of different ways that people approach paying off debt, and a lot of feelings that go along with carrying debt. So we work a lot on that, first of all, letting go of the emotions. You have to do that first. There's no debt, again, is just money. It's just money. It's just numbers on paper. If you list all of your debt, it's just numbers on paper. That's all that is. There's no tangible thing to it. You have, it's just numbers. That's changing the mindset around that. And also realizing that you can work towards those goals of paying off debt, and that doesn't mean you have to live like a pauper. I know there's one person who likes to tell you that you have to live on rice and beans until you're completely debt free. And that is not true. That is not true, because I have gone through paying off a lot of debt, and I would say, because I changed my mindset around money, it was actually a joyful experience. And that's what I like to try to teach people. And you don't have to, when I talk about looking at your debt and deciding what you want to sort of work at paying off first, it's really, it's a spiritual thing for me, I think. It's not, what is my highest interest rate, or do the snowball method and pay off the lowest first. I believe you approach it. Some of those things you can use if you don't have emotions attached to your debt. But if you have an emotion attached to a debt, that's the one, a negative emotion then that's the one you should pay off first, because you want those are the debt. That's the debt you want to get rid of. Like, we had a personal debt from a friend, and I have a whole history of a long story in our past with a failed business, but we had a personal debt from a friend, and he wasn't charging us any interest, but it was weighing on us because he was a good friend, and we did not want that. We did not want that hanging over us. So we paid that off because that was important to us. We had an extremely negative emotion attached that we wanted to move on and pass through. So that's some of the things that I talk about.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I really liked when you were talking about how you got slammed with the information that you were going to have a new air conditioning system, and big expense all of a sudden. And we all have those that come and go in our lives. And your default was to go back to the original fear and oh no, and anxiety.
Right.
And you
Yeah.
instantly corrected it to where that's where we have our power, where we can say, no, I'm not going down that road. I don't like how that makes me feel. And you can change it in the moment and just start really cultivating those positive thoughts to get to where you need to be. And that's so helpful,
Right.
because that's what the universe is listening to what you're thinking about.
Right.
So that really struck me. And also the money isn't meant to sit in a bank account for 30 years. It's supposed to flow. And I think a lot of us get stuck on, you get a certain amount, I got to hang on to this or it's going to be gone. The more you spend, the more you give, the more you make it flow. It becomes like a river. So it's more in and out of your life, and it just becomes a part of your experience. So that was really helpful to me.
And there's definitely a balance. I mean, we all need to have, be thinking about our retirement and know that we have. But there's also, a point where you have to have guilt-free spending. You can't you have to have, knowing that your basic needs are set and that you have money, that you'll be able to use in the future. But then knowing that there's also money that you can just enjoy, because it is meant to be enjoyed. It's meant to flow. It's meant to flow. So use it, flow it.
I like that reminder that money is meant to flow and meant to circulate, and that sense of limitedness, because I can often go into a sense of limitation. Being self-employed, you never know from day to day, week to week, month to month, what income is going to come in. But I've been doing it for so long that I know there is a flow and that there is an ebb and flow. But I get caught when the ebb comes, pisses me off, because it's like I have to stop the flow of everything. And
Yeah, it always does, right? It always does. Just sort
so
of
I'd like a good way to think about, a better way to think about it,
For sure.
The timing of this, because last night I was listening to a meditation of the bringing abundance, and that there's enough money, and I have never, that's a different mindset for me, because then, I always thought that was being selfish, but I really like the idea of it being a tool, that there's enough for everybody, that let's not try to keep up with the Joneses, that creates envy, that creates separation from the stream of life, right? And so I really appreciate the different way of looking at it, because I was just struggling with that last night, thinking, well, am I being selfish? What? But if I look at it from, it's supposed to flow, it's supposed to, come back to us and flow out. Because I think we're all kind of an age where some of us grew up with my grandmother lived in the Depression, and so she passed that on to my mom, who passed it on to me, and so that just there's that scarcity. So I appreciate the mindset of, let's not limit, let's just focus on redefine success, really. So thank you.
I'd like to come in from the other direction, if that's okay. The mindset, we've had everything and we've lost it all. I mean, we literally lost everything 4 years ago, and we're pretty much like zero, and we've built it right back up again. And the only way we did that is by remembering the Lazarus tenets about the money it's an illusion. It is an energy system. And the more we tap into that and feel the gratitude every moment, we've made our money back and then some, and we are beholden to no one. We are completely debt free. I run a business that is highly successful and works with people that are well into the millions all over the world. And those people that hit that moment of knowing that what they have, that they share and they give, those are the magic times. And I know people who have nothing that do the exact same thing. So it's not about what's sitting in your bank account. It's where your brain's at and what you do with every bit of everything you have. When you pay your bills, thank you. I'm paying this bill. Instead of, looking at the power company, oh my gosh, this is costing me so much. Thank you for giving me the power that I need. And we live in this beautiful economy where it's possible. And then pay that forward as much as you can. It will shift on a dime for you. And like I said, we've been through it. I mean, when I came back into Dana's life, we had zilch, nothing. And we're working back from cancer and all kinds of things. So it is doable, but it's all in here. Every bit of it is in here. And it's the way that you look at it. When you're building your own business, if you're in business for yourself, remembering full well that if you can set your mind and the emotion, especially the feeling on everything you do with gratitude. Number one, I love that you mentioned gratitude. That is our most powerful energy that we have. And then remembering that everything you do is a flow. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Then make your posts, then go ask for the next clients, then just start building. But get in that mindset first. and then do it. Because see, if you're sitting there and I'm paying the bills and, oh my God, what am I going to do this? And what am I going to do this? People feel that. If you're posting on social media, they feel it. If you're on an ad somewhere or you're asking for referral business, people feel what's inside of you. So put that out there, and it really does. It makes a huge difference in your world. Huge difference.
That lack breeds negativity. But we have to have grace with ourselves too, I think, because we do all have a long, deep history. Like we have families who grew up in depression and relatives, and my husband had very little money growing up, and I think we have to have grace with ourselves, knowing that it's okay to start small, start building that in your mind. Like, yes, Leanne, what you said is spot on.
I'm 6 years old and I've taken it all the way. So I got
you. It takes a while, and that's okay. It's okay. Like, wake up in the morning and say, wow, I am so blessed that I have air conditioning that works. Or
a society where that's possible.
Yeah.
I work with people who don't even have that as a possibility. It's impossible for them to have. So being able to be grateful for that as well and spread that is hugely helpful. Absolutely. Yeah.
Even be grateful for your coffee. It comes from far away. It might become scarce, but gosh, we have coffee.
Yeah.
And then we have time to feel scarcity. There's a lot of people where time is more valuable than money. Yeah. And we have the time and the luxury of even being able to have this kind of a conversation in a way that a lot of people really can't. So putting that first and realize how blessed you really are already. And then remembering also that every one of us that's here, when you heal that inside of yourself, you're the one that's doing it for your whole family. I truly believe in the tenet that when we heal those belief structures, it goes 7 generations both ways, instantaneously. So you're doing it for your ancestors, you're doing it for your children, your grandchildren, and anyone else on the planet that's willing to.
True.
And you can see it happen. You can see it happen around when you start to tune into that that mindset, that abundance. You can start to see it flow to your loved ones and manifest through them, and it's beautiful. But it's a process. It takes time. It takes practice. You just and transparency here. It wasn't immediate, Jody, that when I found out the age back, I didn't immediately stop myself. And we're about to purchase
relevant.
a vacation. We're about to purchase a cottage, and I've gone through a lot of stress over that. But I have always been able to pull back and say, you know what, we can do this. It was meant to be. It literally did. Dana knows my story. It literally was meant to be. It was, I manifested this cottage. And so, it grows. Just keep those small practices going, and it will get easier and easier and bigger, and it'll just keep going.
This happened while you were visiting in Michigan up north, Jody. She got it up north. I'm like, oh my God, they can tell Jody.
I literally stopped a lady. We stopped a lady who was walking down the road with her dog, and asked her if she knew anyone who was selling a cottage on this lake that we love, and we're buying her cottage.
Oh, wow.
Under market value.
Where is it? Which lake?
She loves us. It's at Sage Lake in Hale.
Oh my gosh, our best friends used to have a cottage on Sage Lake.
We love
That's a perfect area. I've seen pictures. I haven't been there, but that's nice. Congratulations.
Sage Lake? Sage like a sage?
Yeah. S-A-G-E. Yeah, it's a good name.
Wow.
But the way it happened, it was like, yeah, it just flowed. So I have to do it.
Great.
And I have to visit.
You're all welcome. Well, thank you all, everyone. This has been such a pleasure. It's so nice to see all of you. This is a pretty good crowd. It's nice to see everybody.
I'm so grateful for everything that everybody said, because I got booted off for some reason and it took me forever. I had to make a hotspot to get back in here. So
watch the recording.
Right? So thank you, everybody.
Does anybody have any other thoughts, comments, questions for Dani?
I do have some comments for the group, and this is I'm revealing something about myself, and I have been in a place of abundance, and I am also in a place where every single day I walk outside and I am so incredibly grateful for what I have. I'm so, because it's been on the edge for so long, as a single parent, but something I wanted to mention, and perhaps there's some thoughts that would be useful for me, is I looked at a women's retreat today, and I thought, oh, that would be really wonderful to go to. And I looked it up, and it costs $2,300 to go attend this retreat. And I'm on a limited income, and I'm very grateful to Mountain Spirit Co-op that they have scholarships available. But it seems like I see women in general, I mean, every other are popping up everywhere, that they're hanging out a shingle and charging for their services, whether it be Reiki or a energy healer or of some sort, or a coach of some kind. And I feel so much like I'm blocked out of any of these things because of the fact that I see myself as a limited income. And as I said, I'm incredibly grateful, and I see every day as a miracle. But I have an issue, and it affects me, and it affects me in my relationship. And I work on that every day, and I work on being grateful for, and I am grateful for the success of other people that I see in my life. But that's something that affects me directly. And I have an issue with that. I have an issue with women and people putting their wares out on Facebook, and charging money. And it's like, to be your friend, to join in this wonderful event. And I'm not in a position where I can. So anyway, any thoughts on that? I appreciate it. And thank you for hearing me out.
Well, Kayla, I hear what you're saying, and I've seen what you're saying too, that a couple things. First, you have to know that what you offer to the world has value, right? What these women are putting out there, it has value. I will also say that I personally, and I tell this to Dana all the time, I don't fit into this group because I don't have any coaching clients. And I've worked, the only 6-week course I work with are free. So but my mindset is I want to share my gifts, and I know that I probably could, put more effort into that. But I actually have a job, but I think the fact that I have that mindset, gifts are flowing through to me. And I think if you can believe that gifts will flow to you, it will find a way. It will. You have to, like I said, have grace with yourself, but know that you're not on a limited income. I know that you have a certain amount of money coming to you, but life is not limited. There's, be open to the fact that there is enough for everyone. And if you can start working on the mindset, I believe it will flow to you. And I think I need someone of you spiritual teachers who are far better at this kind of conversation than I am to jump in here.
But I'm in the same position as Kay or Kayla, and I try to circumvent the thing. For instance, it's true that some people, they do overcharge. Like, for instance, if you take Reiki, when it started, it was costing $10,000. I mean, now you can have it for, not peanuts, but a regular amount, that could be affordable to almost everyone. So I do try to circumvent the thing. Like me, my mentor is Lazarus. Of course, I cannot afford most of those PPVs and things like that. But there's always someone who speaks about what was told in a seminar, or you find something on the internet that is about the same nature. So you grab pieces here and there. And then because you are yourself a wise person and you think and things like that, things you end up comprehending what's the thing, and to gain some knowledge, if not the whole thing, you have a good idea enough to go along in your life and go further. So for the same topic, try to find other ways to get part of that knowledge.
And I would say, for me personally too, and I charge for my Reiki, I charge for classes, I charge for my jewelry, and all of that has value. And I've taken many, many, many years of classes and many, many, many years of gathering materials and many, many years of creating trainings and programs and things. All of that has value. And whenever I see something that I'm interested in, or yoga is the other one, is, if I want to do a yoga training and learn something new, I don't expect to be able to go for free. I expect to pay for the thing that I value, that is going to feed my spirit. So it's that give and that take. It's give and receive. And I think I talked about it the last time Dani talked, is that's sort of the law of the universe. Give as you would receive. And, so do you not value what you have to give, that you should get everything free? So that's one way to look at it. And so I find the things that can fit into my budget of what I have right now, or what might expand, or however, but it's taken, I've done it step by step by step, a little, and that's just the way that it's worked for me. And I've only received abundance. As much as I've given, I've received back, and then some. I've received even more. The other thing that Dana taught me in the co-op is this cooperative, and there's so much giving and receiving that happens there, and it isn't always monetary. It's still abundance though, and that's been such a blessing, that giving and receiving. I can't even place a value on it. It's been so amazing. So yeah, it's a process, and the changing of the idea that money is energy rather than something material is also really, really huge. I think that's all I've got.
Lazara said something, then I think we probably have to, unless everybody's okay going a little over. Lazara said something once that stuck with me. I don't even remember when it was. It was, money is the cherry on top of the sundae. So it's this little piece of your giant puzzle of success and abundance and prosperity. And I know that can just sound like a bunch of words, particularly when there's frustration that's in there. We all experience that from time to time, but one of the ways perhaps to work with money is energy, and the cherry on top of the sundae, and just a piece of your puzzle is to step back and don't worry about what all those other people are doing, or what people are charging or not charging, and what you can get or can't get right now. Just start in that place where you said you start every day with gratitude, and maybe from there move into, oh, let me see how I can look at money as an energy. What does that mean to me? How can I look at money slightly differently and see it in your mind's eye, or just see it however it works for you, flowing in a different way. And as Dani pointed out earlier, take those small steps, like one brick at a time, but all of a sudden you have this beautiful castle of you. And those changes can happen instantly. And then all of a sudden you're in a completely different mindset. And then things flow in a way that is much more graceful and in alignment with what it is that you want and you want to create, instead of what you think all these other people are doing and creating, because they could just be throwing stuff up on Facebook anyway. Who knows?
I'd like
Yeah.
I'd like to add a little something. Don't forget that there are books. So you can what you want to learn, for instance, what you want to this is it, to learn or whatever, go further. Most probably there is a book about it. So the book you can purchase, of course, and you can also have it at the library. So these also are ways that are cheap that you can get part of what you want. It would be the big thing that the person is offering at a high price, but at least you can know if yes or no, finally it suits you. And from there later on, this is it. It can evolve.
And I'd also like to.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Dana.
I just also would like to say real quickly to perhaps even recognize what you've already allowed as far as manifesting in your life. You found that scholarships, the scholarships that we offer that made it available, that you're so grateful for. It's like, take a moment to pat yourself on the back, because you did allow that in. And if you can allow that in, you can use that resonance magic to allow anything else in too, because you're magic.
Exactly. So we're just about at the hour. We did have a short meditation plan, but I want to make sure everybody's cool with doing it. And certainly if we're not, we can just do a couple of breaths and close out. But I wanted to make that offering, for people to say yay or nay. So
can I say one more thing just for Kayla? I also want you to trust yourself, Kayla, because if you see things that you feel are like, if you see something, and there are people out there who are taking advantage, if you see something that's out there on the internet, on Facebook, somebody selling their services and it doesn't feel right to you, then trust yourself. It's probably, don't trust yourself and know that that's not for you. That's okay, because there are people who are out there offering services who probably don't have the best intentions. So trust your instincts. Okay, sorry. That's
great. What a great discussion, you guys. Thank you all thank you, Dani. So we're going to roll into our closing meditation, which I will be blabbermouthing at you. So you'll have to bear with me. So if you need to settle back in, please do so. And when you're ready, just close your eyes. And once again, we will connect to ourselves and take deep, grounding breaths, just a few at your own pace. Imagine your breath going down through your body to your root, and then as you exhale, releasing anything that's constricting or standing in your way, or just follow your breath. And I'll count from 5 to 1, and at the count of 1, you'll find yourself in a grove of trees. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you find yourself in a magical grove of trees. What kind of tree would you be if you were a tree? That's the grove you're in. You, if you were a tree. Take in this magical grove. Breathe the air. Touch the ground. Touch the trunks of the trees, the leaves. Walk around. Take it in. And as you're taking in this magical grove of trees, trees that you would be if you were a tree, you notice that they're glistening, glistening with every color of the rainbow. And you look closer and you notice there are tiny lights all over the leaves, these little sparkles. They're seeds. They're seeds of you, of your imagination, your expectation, your desire, your love, your magic, your light. You find yourself drawn to one of these magical, sparkling trees. You go over to that particular tree and you lean against it, or you sit. Just let yourself get comfy with that tree. And listen. Listen to the essence of the glistening seeds of you. What is it saying? Among the many things it may say, you hear you have everything you need right here, right now. You are enough just as you are in this moment. Let that in. And from this place of knowing that you have everything you need, that you are enough now in this moment, allow yourself to dream. What else do you want to create? What more do you want from this place of enough, of having everything that you need always? What else do you want? Allow an image to form in this magic grove. In your mind, perhaps you sense it in the trees, an image of what it is that you want to create. And as that sense or image comes to light, your future that has what you want comes to light. Now allow that future, your future, who has that which you want, to plant those seeds in you, those new sparkles, glistening colors of the rainbow. Allow them to be placed in your heart. receive those seeds. New seeds of imagination and expectation, desire, new seeds of love and light and magic and joy to add to the abundance that you have. Know that you now have in you all that you need to create this more, that you have this more. You've just seen this more. And you know that these seeds are never ending because there's always more. There's always more love. A never ending supply. And you are always and eternally enough. And you allow that in too. And then it's just you once more in this magical grove of trees with the magical seeds of you, having expanded yourself in a moment. You can have what you want because you want it. And so it is. And I'll count from 1 to 5, and at the count of 5, you'll be back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And open your eyes. And welcome back to your now, wherever that is.
That was lovely, Elizabeth. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.